Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be a top 10 of movies that you can watch on UK Netflix for May 2017. Let's get started with number 10, which is a personal favourite of mine, and that is How I Spent My Summer Vacation. This was also called Get the Gringo. A career criminal is captured by Mexican authorities and thrown in an extremely tough prison. There he has a plan to escape, but he must first learn to survive with the help of a small boy. This is Mel Gibson and that bad guy doing the right kind of role that he does. He did it really well in Payback, and this is almost like an extension of that character. The jail that he's in is a foreign world, but they're all criminals and he can navigate that kind of world very well. He is manipulating situations for his own ends and you're never quite sure of his end game, but it's highly entertaining, it's a little bit violent, and it's a great tale, and it just reminds people why Mel Gibson is resounded as one of the best actors of his generation. He is terrific in this flick. Number 9, and the first of 2 remakes on my list, is The Magnificent Seven. 7 gunmen in the Wild West slowly come together to help protect a village from some ruggish, outlandish, savage outlaws who are determined to steal their land from them. This is a remake of the classic Western, and it's directed by Antoine Fuqua, a guy who I genuinely like his movies. I never really love them, but they're always entertaining, and the same happens here as well. This time he gathers together a terrific cast, again working with Denzel Washington as the main hero of the piece, and he, as always, is terrific, but it's the surrounding characters that tend to steal the show. Take, for instance, the bad guy Peter Sarsgaard, who is absolutely terrific as this kind of ill-looking bad guy who doesn't want to get his hands dirty, but is quite happy to wipe out a full town if it means that he gets the spoils that he wants. Number 8 on my list is Takedown. Students of a reform school for rebellious, extremely rich kids take matters into their own hands after their campus is taken over by a group of mercenaries who want to ransom the kids back to the extremely rich parents. Apart from ripping off the storyline from Toy Soldiers, this is a pretty decent movie. It's directed by Jim Gillespie, the man who did I Know What You Did Last Summer, a movie that I really liked when it came out, and I still kind of like it now. This one's got some interesting characters, it's got some good scenes, some nice action, a little bit hokey in some areas, and sometimes acting isn't great, but it's an entertaining, fun watch, and it's one of these things that just appears on Netflix. Never heard of it, but it's actually really pretty fun. Second remake on my list is Poltergeist. A family whose suburban home is haunted by evil forces must band together to save their youngest daughter after she is taken captive by the ghosts. I love my horror movies, and I'm kind of drawn towards the original Poltergeist because I think it's dead creepy, really interesting, and it's one of my favourites. So when the remake came out, I wanted to go and see it, and it doesn't live up to the hype of that one. But if you've never seen the original Poltergeist, then you're probably going to find some things in here that creep you out if you don't like clowns. Just general creepiness. It's kind of spooky and it kind of works, and it's got Sam Rockwell, who is always a fantastic addition to any cast, and he is the best thing in this movie as well. Number 6 on my list is Avengers Age of Ultron. Tony Stark and Bruce Banner try to jumpstart a dormant peacekeeping program called Ultron. Things go wrong, as it tends to do in these movies, and it's up to Earth's mightiest heroes to try and stop Ultron before he decimates the world. This isn't the best Marvel movie, but it's still a good movie. It gives you all the various blockbuster beats that you're looking for, but one of the most interesting aspects of this movie is the fact of Hawkeye. A throwaway character in the First Avengers is given a little bit more substance by showing you his family life and the fact that he is a hero without any real superpowers. He is very fallible, he has people relying on him, and it's an interesting aspect of the movie I wish they had explored more of, rather than focusing on these people with almost immortality. But this was a good aspect of the movie, and the movie is generally fun and has some good action set pieces. Number 5 on my list is Viral. Following an outbreak of a virus that takes over most of the population, a young woman and her sisters find themselves locked in their house trying to survive. This is a nice little horror flick, and it's a nice sort of twist on a kind of zombie, a parasite type of movie. The people don't die in this, they are infected by this parasite that takes over control of their body, and they become almost zombie-like people, attacking each other, trying to pass on this virus parasite type of thing. Now it looks pretty neat, there is some good horrific scenes in this, there's some body horror elements as well, and it generally racks up the tension, and I was never quite sure where it was going to go to. and it has a nice little twist in its tail as well. I think this was a fun movie. It's one I hadn't heard of before, and if you're into your horror movies, it's one that you're definitely going to like. Number 4 on my list is Tower. Animation, testimony and archival footage come together to retell the events of August the 1st, 1966, where a man climbed the clock tower in the University of Austin and started to shoot people. This is a stunning documentary that's done in a style that I've never seen done before. The animation style, mixed with the story of the real people telling the tale, really gives you an insight into the events that you don't get in much other documentaries. It makes you feel as if you're there on the ground as this is happening. You relate to the people, their horrific situation. You emote towards these people. You really feel what they're going through, and the choice of angles and the decision to have some things animated and some things not is a real treat. The movie looks unlike any other doc I've seen before. It is mesmerising. There has this reoccurring theme of music through it as well, which is just daunting as well. It's a tale I didn't know anything about, and this focuses all on the victims and the people who experienced this, and absolutely none on the person that's taking the pot shots, which is one of the best decisions you could have. This is a highly recommended movie, and if you like documentaries at all, you will love this. Number 3 on my list is The Discovery. 2 years after the afterlife is scientifically proven to be true, a young man tries to help a woman break away from her dark past. I love the fact that this brings up some really strong questions. It answers some it doesn't. You know, what would you do if you knew there was an afterlife? What would you do if you didn't have that fear for death anymore? You know, if you die, you know you're going to go somewhere else. What if you don't like the life that you have just now, but you know there's something else there? What would you do? It asks a lot of these questions. It does answer some, and it leaves some open for interpretation. I thought The Discovery was a terrific movie. I really enjoyed it, and it's one that I keep meaning to go back to try and reaffirm my thoughts about it. But it is definitely a very interesting, thought-provoking watch. Number 2 on my list is The Wailing. A stranger arrives in a little village, and soon after, people start to become infected with this strange disease. A policeman is drawn into the incident and must try and solve the mystery to save his own daughter's life. This is a gorgeous-looking Korean movie. Literally every image has been poured over and made to look as stunning as it possibly can, and it is wrapped around this remarkable story that just twists and turns all the way through it. It is mixed with themes of faith, hope, and it just never quite gives you the full picture, all the answers, which I like. It leaves things open for interpretation again, but this is a very exciting horror movie with one of the best exorcism scenes I think I've ever seen. It really gets the heart racing. It's got this thumping music, weird images, and it's just a terrific film. I think this is one of the best movies I've seen this year, and it's definitely worth your time. Number 1 on my list for May 2017 is Nerve. A high school senior finds herself immersed in an online game of truth or dare where every move is manipulated by this community of people called Watchers. I saw the trailers for this, and the first time I went to see it on the big screen, I wasn't expecting much. I thought it looked rather generic and things we'd seen before, and I just wasn't expecting it to be as fun or as exciting as it turned out to be. Yes, it's silly, but it's 100% entertaining, and it has this great rewatchable factor. I think that's down to the two leads, who have tremendous chemistry and who are really good together. You want to see get through this tale that's been told. You're never quite sure what the next dare is going to be, if it's going to be a fun one or a terrifying one, but you're with the characters and you're with them the full way. And I've watched this a couple of times since, and it's just excellent. It's so much fun. I can highly recommend it. That's my number 1 for a reason. It's just a really, really fun movie. I think you're going to like this one as well. So thanks for watching my videos. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done before, and come back next month where I will have another top 10 for you to check out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.